go.
Well, that is a surprise. Parents slam popular lol surprise dolls, very inappropriate, and realistic genitals, complaining that the toy penises have led to awkward conversations.
That's a girl doll. Why are they making children's dolls with genitals now?
Barbie's boyfriend Ken, the most ubiquitous of male dolls, is notoriously flat and sexless below the belt. So when parents discovered that their children's male lol surprise dolls do, in fact, have genitals, some expressed shock and outrage. Although the female versions of the dolls, which are manufactured by MGA Entertainment, are smoothed down below, the newer boy dolls have distinct penises and testicles.
Look at that. LOL, right? Lucifer, our Lord.
Since the male dolls debuted last year, several parents have complained on social media that the genitalia is not age-appropriate, and demanded that the brand change the design.
That's not a male, that's a female who has glittery eyes. Come on. Oh, come on. There's another one. Pink cat, come on.
To make abundantly clear that these toys were boys, not girls, the company added a tiny penis and testicles to each one, even though the girl dolls don't have vaginas. Parents have expressed anger and disappointment on Facebook and Twitter as they've come to discover the genitals, posting close-up pictures of their kids' toys. Writing on the LOL Surprise Facebook page, one woman complained, "My 5-year-old daughter loves your stuff, but we were forced into an uncomfortable situation upon opening her newest LOL doll. I had no idea you placed genitals on your male dolls. Not cool. Not age appropriate. Santa has spent hundreds of dollars on LOL dolls for Christmas, and I will be very upset if there are more with genitalia. Please be more considerate," she added. "The world forces them to grow up fast enough. Please help us help them stay kids. Parents should be able to have these conversations on their terms when they feel their child is mature enough."
And look at this. A children's book of demons. Why in the world do children need to meddle with this stuff? Why in the world does anyone need to meddle with these things? And mess with them, you know? Like, I gotta tell you this story. So my wife let her cousin move in when I was away for 3 months, and this was a house we were renting. And the first week she was there, things were fine. But by the second week, my wife had told me that wife came and visited me, and she was telling me that oh, that's what it was. She came and visited me, and the girl called and said, "Hey, do you have ghosts?" And we're like, "No, why?" And the girl's like, "We hear stuff, doors opening and closing, and things banging, right?" And you know, I don't shrug that stuff off. You know, I take that stuff serious, right? And we talked to her about it, talked to her about things to do, and left it alone. Maybe about after the first month she was there, my wife was at the house. Our sons were there, and her cousin was there with her 2 daughters. And next thing you know, wife calls me. She was telling me that a ghost just ran by them, and they were in the living room, and it was broad daylight, right? Probably midday. And I'm like, well, that's strange because nothing ever happened to us before. And we talked to the people who own the house. They said there was nothing ever happened there. No one ever died. Nothing that they knew of and stuff like that. So we were puzzled. And wife and I started putting two to two together. The stuff started acting up when she moved in. And the stuff was always acting up when she was around. When my wife was there with the boys, nothing ever happened overnight, during the day, whatever. And there was one point we're moving out of the house, and she was there, my wife's cousin, and she was helping to move. And I had took some shirts out of my closet. I had hung them on the top of a door. And then when we were packing stuff up to put in storage, my wife and I were unloading our truck, putting things in storage. She calls and she's crying. She's like, I can't stay here another day. I can't stay here another minute, blah, 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 blah. She's like, this thing just scratched her daughter, and it's slamming the door upstairs. So I go in to the house when I got there, and sure enough, there was marks in the doorpost where the door was slamming with the coat hanger still hung on the door. And we started talking to her, and come to find out, she claimed she was a witch. She claimed at a point in time, she got with a group of girls that were into witchcraft. I think it was when she was working as a stripper. She met other strippers and basically what we figured out was that at these strip clubs, it's a recruiting site for witches, right? They get these girls that are in a certain state of mind, F men, that's all about the money, whatever the story is, and they recruit them and they make them feel like they're in a girls' club or a girls' like a girls' version of a brotherhood, that kind of thing, and they're into something special. And she dealt in witchcraft and played with Ouija boards, and come to find out, she knew that there was something that had followed her around wherever she went, and it was messing with her and her daughters. And I'm like, why would you do this kind of stuff if this stuff was freaking you out in the first place? And she thought it was something cool to be able to say, hey, I'm a witch. Well, I'm like, look at the torment it's costing you. Look at something that's constantly following you around no matter where you go. She moved out and moved on back to her mom, so I from experience, I know this stuff is nothing to mess with,